So another super warm welcome everyone. Super happy that you're here on our last yoga live stream for the foreseeable future. But don't worry, because we're opening in real life, but I'll keep the Wednesday evening live stream alive, and also we'll still be uploading 2 shorter practices every week. So still enough to go around. We're going to start today in a comfortable cross-legged seat. Now we're going to start with some breathing. So make sure you're comfortable. So maybe sit up on a blanket or a little pillow or a fancy schmancy bolster if you have one, so that you can really lift out of the lower back. And before I forget, welcome to the Comfy Cozy Club, the online version of Studio Natuurlijk, and my name is Nathalie. And someone here, you can see my discontented assistant buddy. Okay, so take a moment to settle in here. Make sure your sitting bones are grounding down and start to lengthen up through the spine, really lifting out of the lower back. So maybe you've been slumped all day, maybe you've been on your feet a lot of the day. Just take a moment to make sure that you are comfortable. And when you are, close your eyes. And just start to tune in. So in case you're feeling a bit stressed out, maybe you've been working really hard, maybe you've just been feeling some tension, but maybe you're feeling great. This is the practice for you. So really going to unwind and undo some of the stress. Get into a relaxed state of mind. We're going to start sitting down, then move through some flows, some gentle flows. Hopefully break a bit of a sweat, move some energy around, and then end with some really nice and juicy stretches. So as you arrive here, bring the palms of the hands together and just take a moment to rub the palms of the hands together. So creating a bit of warmth in between the palms of your hands. Maybe go a little faster, especially if your hands are a bit chilly. A bit faster. And then bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment to really notice how you feel. And then take a moment to set out an intention for your practice today. And maybe immediately there's something that pops up into your head. Something you want to let go of or send some energy to. But my invitation would be to not be hard on yourself this evening. Just go with the flow, move in a way that feels good, and enjoy. Take a moment to deepen the breath here, as if you're infusing that intention with some breath. And then really slowly, mindfully, bring your hands on top of your knees, on top of your legs. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, start to really round through the spine. So think cat stretch. As you breathe in, lift the heart, slide the shoulders back. Maybe lift the nose up to the ceiling, think cow stretch. And as you exhale, round through the spine. And now just keep it going, moving with the breath. Notice how it feels to create some space in between the vertebrae. Notice how it feels to really open up through the chest without creating any tension in the back of the neck. And then make your way back into your straight spine. Slowly blink the eyes open and bring your right hand in front of your chest. Now, if you're a lefty, feel free to use the left hand. Fold in your index finger and middle finger. And if that's impossible for your hand, all three middle fingers. I'm just going to close off the right nostril with the thumb and then take a really deep breath in through the left nostril. Hold at the top of the breath. Seal the left nostril with your ring finger and exhale out through the right nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. Hold, seal, exhale out through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Hold, seal, exhale out through the right nostril. And now start to find your own groove here. So switching the position of the hand after every inhalation. And if this really isn't working for you, feel free to bring your hands onto your lap and just breathe in and out through the nose. So just starting with some alternate nostril breathing. Start to lengthen the inhalation, the exhalation. Start to smooth out the breath. And this is a great pranayama technique to calm the nervous system. Especially great if you've been feeling a bit frantic or your nerves are starting to fray. To calm down. To wash away any worries. Okay, keep it going. Finally, breathe in through the right nostril. Bring your hands onto your lap and exhale out through both nostrils. Take a moment to breathe. In and out through the nose. Noticing the change in the quality of your breath. Observing the quality of air in the room. Starting to move into that audible ujjayi breathing, that ocean breath. And slowly open your eyes. Cross the right hand over the left leg as you bring the left hand behind, and we're just going to take an easy twist over to the left. Sing it out. And then as you breathe in, move through center, left hand over the right leg, right hand behind, and just twist to the right. And keep it going here, so not forcing yourself into the twist, just starting to move with the breath. Keeping lots of length through the spine. And really noticing any sensation. So how is your spine feeling today? How is the neck feeling? Where does the mind go? So we don't have a lot of control about where the mind wanders off to, but the environment of yoga can really help to let go of some stress and drop into the present moment. Okay, once more. But maybe you're not feeling any stress. Lucky you. Okay, come back to center. Breathe in, float the arms up, bringing the arms in line with the shoulders. Now, same movement as we've done before, but we're going to add on to this. So turn the backs of the hands forward and really round through the spine. So think cat stretch here, chin to chest. And now breathe in as you pull the thumbs back and really open up through the chest. Exhale to round, pull the belly button to the spine. Inhale to lift and open. And just once more, exhale to round. And inhale to open. Now exhale out here, bring the fingertips down to the floor. Now move with the breath, breathe in, float the arms all the way up, take your time. Turn the palms of the hands forward, spread your fingers really wide. And as you exhale, move onto all fours, hands and knees. So immediately settle in, get organized, bring your hands in line with your shoulders, your knees in line with your hips. Now take a deep breath in as you extend the right leg out, the left arm out, coming into a pointer. Lift the lower belly in. If this is too much, feel free to bring your hand down to the floor. And exhale, you're going to bring your knee to your belly button, to your nose. And you're going to bring the left elbow into the waistline. So instead of bringing elbow to your knee, bring the elbow behind. And then breathe in to lengthen out. So feel that core strength, feel the length. Exhale to round it in. Think cat stretch. Let's do one more. Take a deep breath in, extend out. Exhale, round through the spine. Breathe and really find the length. Now bring the left hand down to the floor. Bring the right toes down to the floor. Bring the left foot over the long side of the mat. So this is always a bit of a yoga for the brain moment. Turn onto the inside of your right foot. Take a deep breath in as you pull the right elbow all the way up. Send the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your tailbone down. Hug the lower belly in. Now grow light on the right fingertips as we're going to lift ourselves up, moving from the go light on the left fingertips, lift up from the right fingertips. So feel that strength in the waistline. Maybe you're a bit wobbly here, no worries. Bring your right hand onto your right leg as you bring the left arm up and overhead. Keep lengthening your tailbone down. Feel that big stretch through the left side body. And then slowly, as if you're moving through water, we're going to bring the left hand back underneath the left shoulder. Send the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the tailbone down. Now float the right leg up. So if this is too much, keep your toes down. You're welcome to stay here. Or maybe bend the right leg and with the right hand, see if you can take hold of your right foot. Now your lower back will want to arch, but lengthen your tailbone down. Hug the lower ribs in, get really strong through the core. Take a moment to breathe, smile, and slowly release. Coming back onto all fours. Now same leg, lift the right big toe up towards the ceiling. Send the left arm all the way out. Swim the left hand behind. And maybe see if you can take a hold of your right foot. If the answer is no, no worries. Just reach or point towards that foot. If you can reach, press the right big toe up towards the ceiling. Send the heart forward, gentle back bend. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Take a moment to curl your toes under. Lower the hips down onto the heels, stretching through the feet. Take a deep breath in as you send your arms out left to right. And as you exhale, interlace your hands behind your lower back. And just take a moment to press your knuckles down, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, opening up through the chest. Breathe in. And as you exhale, break free, moving back onto all fours. So find your foundation, wrists in line with your shoulders, knees in line with your hips. Breathe in as you send the left leg out, the right arm out. Lengthen, pointer, align the hips. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Bring the right elbow into the waistline as you round it through. Breathe in to send it out long. Twice more. Exhale to round. Inhale to extend. And bring the right hand down underneath the right shoulder. As you bring the right foot over the long side of the mat, come onto the inside of your left foot. Take a deep breath in, pull up from the left elbow, send the left fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Lengthen your tailbone down towards the back edge of the mat as you hug the lower ribs in. And now grow light on the right fingertips as you pull yourself up from the left fingertips. Left hand to your left leg, right arm up and overhead into that really big side body stretch. Now, slow movement, so really fluid movement as you bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder, firming the fingertips down into the mat. Send your left arm back out. Float the left leg up in line with the left hip. Bend the left leg, and with the left hand, take a hold of the left ankle. Press the hips forward. Keep lengthening the tailbone down. Keep hugging the lower ribs in, and reach the crown of the head away from you. As you soften through the face, smile. If you're a bit wobbly today, no worries. And slowly return onto all fours. So knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Now same leg, bring the left big toe up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to stay here or send the right arm out. Swim the right arm around and see if you can catch the left foot. So finding the foot is the hardest part. Then press the top of the foot into the hand. Really reach the heart forward, shoulders away from the ears, the neck is nice and long. Smile. And a really soft landing down into the floor. Curl the toes under. Bring your hips back down onto your heels. Breathe in, open the arms side to side. I have a very cute assistant. I don't know if you can see his little head over the basket. So cute. Okay, that's a real cat stretch. Interlace your hands behind your hips. Now bring the weird pinky at the bottom. Bring the weird thumb at the top, so different way around. Press the knuckles down, roll the shoulders away from your ears, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, release. We're going to come into downward facing dog. So bring your hands shoulder width apart, don't go too narrow here. Really grip the mat with your fingertips, so your hand should become a bit white. Curl your toes under, lift your knees, and send your hips all the way back. Keep rolling the shoulders out. Make sure you bring your feet hip width apart. And take a moment to walk your dog. So stretch out through the backs of the legs. Find a really fluid breath. Ooh. My downward facing dog is coming with some sound effects from the knees and ankles. Okay, stretching it out. Keep the breath really deep. Notice how you feel. And then bring your downward facing dog to stillness. Let the heels become heavy. Bring the ears in line with the upper arms. And now as you breathe in, bring your gaze up and in between your hands as you walk your feet up towards the front edge of the mat. So bring your feet in line with your hips. Really ground down through the feet. Allow the crown of the head to melt down towards the floor and start to roll yourself up. Take your time. You should come all the way up into a mountain pose. Reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And take a moment to roll the shoulders up. So up to the ears and down. So just some shoulder awareness as we get a bit stressed out or at the end of our tether. Or as the Dutch say, at the end of our Latin, the shoulders start to creep up to the ears. So just taking a moment to really consciously let your shoulder blades set down into the back body. Okay, from there, breathe in, float the arms all the way up, coming into an extended mountain pose. Now as you exhale, take it down through the center line, all the way down into your forward fold. Breathe in, take a halfway lift, really lengthen out through the spine so the neck is nice and long. Exhale, fold all the way down, return to your forward fold. Now breathe in, step the feet into a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a really deep breath in down dog. Now breathe in, float into a plank. And just take a moment here, working on strength, feeling that inner strength. So press away from all 10 fingers, shoulders away from the ears, crown of the head reaches forward, and allow the corners of the mouth to lift. Really press away through your feet, spiral the inner thighs in and up, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower the knees down to the floor, flip onto the tops of your feet, hug the elbows into the side body as you lower all the way down onto your belly. Press into the tops of your feet. Breathe in, baby cobra. And exhale to fold. Now curl your toes under, get really strong. As you exhale, press back up into your plank. And send your hips all the way back into downward facing dog. Take a moment to breathe. So give yourself some breath, some time. Create an environment in which to let go of any stress. Or start working to let go towards any stress, depending on your stress levels. Okay, breathe and look over to the front edge of the mat and step or walk your feet all the way up. Come into your forward fold. As you take a deep breath in, lift up halfway, flat back. As you exhale, fold. Now this time, spiral the inner thighs in. Breathe in as you circle the arms all the way up, coming into extended mountain pose. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Really press the left foot down. And by pressing down, start to lift the right knee up. Cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh as you sit down. So kind of as if you're sitting down on a stool behind you. Maybe send your arms out long. Lengthen the tailbone down. Keep hugging the lower belly in. It's kind of as if you're holding a big steering wheel here. So we're coming into a hip opener. Now find the breath. If you're finding that you are particularly wobbly today, you're welcome to take a hold of a wall, a neighbor, a pet. Although who has such big pets? So you're welcome to stay here or take it all the way down, folding it into a forward fold. Your choice. But wherever you are, make sure to take the breath along for the ride. Breathe into that hip. Get really strong through your standing legs. We're going to meet as if we're holding that big steering wheel. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, mountain pose. Breathe in, float the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Right foot, excuse me. Lift the left knee all the way up. Cross the ankle over. Bend your standing leg, so send your hips out behind you. Really press your left knee down. So opening up through that hip, keep lifting through the heart. Visualize your spine, so that beautiful S-curve through the spine. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Notice how your face is doing. Relax your frown. So you're welcome to stay here. Breathe. Or take it all the way down into your forward fold. So keep those luscious breaths going. And then really press down into your standing leg. We're going to meet, bringing the hands wider than shoulder width as if we're holding that big steering wheel. And bring the feet down into the floor. Make sure your toes are pointing forward. Breathe in, send the arms all the way up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Breathe in, extended mountain pose. Exhale, take it down through the center line, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back extend. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, step into your high plank. Taking a moment to work on our core strength. So lift the lower belly in, press away from the mat. Maybe feel that gentle shake, or maybe feel a very vigorous shake. Feel how the breath starts to change. Keep the breath calm and deep. And then as you exhale, send it all the way back into downward facing dog. Now we're going to flow. Breathe in. Send the weight forward. Move into your plank. From your toes or your knees, hover down, resisting gravity as we take it down slowly. Breathe in, baby cobra. Press into the tops of your feet. Exhale, nose down to the floor. Curl your toes under. Breathe in, come into your high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now drop the left heel down, so anchor down through that left heel. Keep your ears in line with your upper arms. And take a deep breath in as you float the right leg all the way up, as if you're caressing, is that the word I'm looking for? The air with your toes, as you do. Open up through the right hip. And now send your right knee over towards your right elbow. See if you can touch, bringing it up and over. So think puppy at a lamppost. And then send it all the way up, three-legged dog. And this time step your right foot up to your right thumb. Make sure it arrives. Take a deep breath in as you open up through the chest. And exhale, lower the left knee down to the floor. Now breathe in. You're going to open up through both arms, so really lifting up through the heart. Take an exhale here. Drop your fingertips down. Breathe in, sweep both arms all the way up. Hug into that center line. And as you exhale, pull your elbows down. Cactus arms, open up through the chest. Breathe in, send your arms all the way up. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your hands down to the floor. Breathe in, lift the left knee up. And now as you exhale, you're going to walk into the long side of the mat. So I'm just going to turn around so I can still see you. Turn your big toes in. Turn your heels out just slightly. And now start by lengthening out through the spine. So really reach the crown of the head forward. And get really strong through the legs. So as if you're lifting energy up through the arches of your feet. Feeling the inseams of the leg get really strong. Feel the sitting bones spreading left to right. Now as you exhale, melt the crown of the head down towards the floor. So coming into your wide-legged forward fold. Inversion. Allow the crown of the head to melt down to the floor. Lift your ears. No, don't lift your ears. Lift your shoulders away from your ears. And start to find length through the spine. Keep the legs strong. As you breathe in, lift up halfway. And as you exhale, soften your knees and walk yourself back out to your low lunge. Breathe in, step into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Move with the breath. Stir up some energy as we flow. Breathe in into your plank. Exhale from your toes or your knees, take it down to the floor. Breathe in, really ignite through the back body as you lift into your baby cobra. Exhale as you melt it down. Curl the toes under, breathe in, come into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. You're welcome to substitute with a child's pose. Keep your breath really deep. So even though we're flowing, we're getting a bit warmer. You don't want to move frantically or rushed. So if you need to move a bit slower than I'm moving, that's fine. Really set your own pace. And don't be hard on yourself. So you don't have to achieve anything. Okay, lower the right heel down. Breathe in, float the left leg up. Open up through the hip. And take it up and over as you bring the left knee towards your left elbow. So think puppy at a lamppost. Breathe in, three-legged dog, align the hips. Exhale, bring your left foot over to your left thumb as you step it up. Take a deep breath in to really open up through the chest. Smile. Exhale, lower the right knee down to the floor. Now breathe in, open up through the arms, open up through the chest, lift up through the heart. And exhale, bring your fingertips down. Breathe in, sweep the arms all the way up. Hug into the center line with those legs, and as you exhale, pull the elbows back, opening up through the chest. Breathe in, send the arms all the way up. And exhale, bring both hands down, framing the left foot. Breathe in, lift the right knee. And now just bring the left hand over to the inside of the left foot as you walk into the center line, coming into your wide-legged forward fold. Breathe in as you lift up halfway. So really think about the sitting bones spreading out left to right and the crown of the head reaching forward. Decompressing through the spine. Now strengthen up through the legs. So really hug those femurs, those hip bones into the hip sockets. Can you feel it? And then as you exhale, melt the crown of the head down to the floor. Maybe bringing your hands in line with your feet. Make sure you aren't hanging out into your heels, center the weight. And maybe you're thinking, this is impossible for my body. You can always stay on your fingertips, bend your legs a little. If you have some props, some blocks, you're welcome to use them. So again, just notice what feels right for your body. And then breathe. And then as you breathe in, lift up halfway. Soften your knees and make your way to the front of the mat. As you breathe in, step up into your plank. As you exhale, downward facing dog. You're welcome to skip the flow. Otherwise, breathe in, float your weight all the way forward. Exhale from toes or knees, hover down to the floor. Breathe in, really strengthen the legs as you lift up into your back bend. Exhale, nose down to the floor, curl the toes under. Breathe in, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now take a moment to breathe. So you're welcome to stay in down dog. You're welcome to take a breather in child's pose. But return into those really nice, luscious breaths. Using the breath to create space within the body. Anchoring the mind into the breath. And then as you breathe in, look forward. And as you exhale, make your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Breathe in, lift up halfway, really decompressing through the spine in your flat back extend. Exhale, forward fold, spiral the inner thighs in. Breathe in, extended mountain pose. And exhale, hands down to your heart. Breathe in, extended mountain pose. Exhale, take it down to the center line, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, step into your high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now breathe in once again as if you're stroking the air with your toes. Float the right leg all the way up. This time take it through the center line. Really press away from the mat, creating space to step the right foot up to your right thumb. So really mindful transition. Hug into the center line. Breathe in as you come all the way up into your high lunge. Now as you exhale, drop your left heel down as we come into warrior two. So press the right knee out. Really keep the weight into your back foot. So root into the knife edge, the back edge of your left foot. And then open up through the chest. Align your head with your heart with your pelvis, and then strengthen through the legs. So lift up through the inner arches, and once again, as if you're hugging those femurs into the hip sockets, lengthening the tailbone down. Now flip the palm of the right hand up. We're going to start by bringing the left hand down, reaching the right fingertips all the way up. So don't take it all the way back, just lift it up, finding the length in the right side body. As we're going to take it into a peaceful warrior. Bring the right arm up and overhead. So don't lift out of that right leg. Keep really strong through that right leg. Reach the fingertips back. Now really slowly take it back to warrior 2. Okay, lengthen out through the right leg. Turn the right toes in. So back into that wide-legged stand. Now you're going to give yourself a huge hug. Bring your right arm on top. That should feel good. No social distancing with yourself. Walk your fingertips towards your shoulders. Now turn your heels in and bend your knees. Lengthen the tailbone down. You can stay here or come into eagle arms as you bring your fingertips up to the ceiling and bring the palms of the hands together. Really squeeze the palms of the hands together. Feel the stretch in the upper back. Now breathe in, lengthen the legs, so keep strengthening the legs. Bring the fingertips up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, sink down low, as if there's a little weight attached to your tailbone. Breathe in to lift. And exhale, sit down low. Listen to the sound of your breath. Move with your own flow. Once more. And then you're going to stay in your goddess pose, so keep your legs bent. Keep the tailbone lengthening down. Make sure you aren't gripping in your toes. Now send your arms out wide. So we're going to come into a full goddess pose. Float the arms all the way up. And now as you exhale, pull your elbows down. Okay, and now we're going to take it even further. If I can do it with the camera pointed at me, so can you. Without a camera, take a deep breath in. Tongue out, gaze up, lion's breath. Well, there's my thumbnail. Okay, send your legs out long, your arms out long. Now turn the right toes out to the short side of the mat. Turn the left heel out and open the arms wide as we return into warrior 2. Send your gaze over your right fingertips and float the left arm up and overhead. Return into your low lunge. Breathe in, step into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now yogi's choice, move through your flow or skip it. If you want to take it, breathe in, come into your plank. Exhale from your toes or your knees, hover down. Breathe in, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, return to the plank and downward facing dog. Now take a moment to reset. So maybe walking your dog, maybe taking a moment in child's pose, maybe finding that beautiful stillness and just using the breath. So keep noticing how you're feeling. And then when the mind starts to wander, as it tends to do, return to the breath. Using the breath to return to the present moment. Let's prepare for the other side. As you're ready, take a deep breath in and float the left leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Shift your weight forward, really press away from the mat. Give yourself that space to step the left foot up to your left thumb. Hug into the center line. Breathe in, send both arms all the way up, come into your high lunge. Exhale, root the right heel down, come into your warrior two. So really press into the outer edge of your right foot. Send your left knee forward so your weight is evenly distributed over both feet. Hug into the center line. So pull those hip bones in. So don't let your energy go in every direction. I don't know why I reenacted that. Okay, bring your gaze over your left fingertips. Relax your frown. Soften your face. Now turn the palm of the left hand up. Right fingers float down, left arm floats up. Really lengthen out through the left side body. Don't lift out of that left leg. And as you exhale, bring the left arm up and overhead. Peaceful warrior. So strong, but peaceful. And slowly take it back into warrior two. Lengthen out through the left leg. Turn the left toes in. So big toes in, heels out just a bit. And then give yourself a big hug, bring your left arm on top. So tight hug. Maybe stay here. Maybe eagle arms. Turn your heels in. And as you exhale, bend your legs, get down low. Breathe in, lift, lengthen legs. Maybe very gentle back bend. And as you exhale, sink down low. Now it's almost like a meditative movement. Breathing in to lift. And exhaling to move down. Find your own breath. Find your own flow. Let's do one more round. And the next time you're down in goddess pose, stay there. Unravel the arms, send your arms out left to right. That should feel really good in the shoulders. Breathe in, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, pull your elbows down, full goddess pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lion's breath. Breathe in, extend the legs, extend the arms. Turn your right heel out, your left toes towards the short side of the mat as you move back into your warrior two. Relax the shoulders down the back. Float the right arm up and overhead, lift the right heel, return into your low lunge. Breathe in as you step into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, take it or leave it. Move through your flow. Breathe and take it forward. Exhale, hover down. Breathe in cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment to catch your breath. And then bring the knees as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes together. Melt your hips down to your heels. Drag the hands all the way back. Bring the backs of the hands down into the floor as you melt the forehead down to the mat. Relax the shoulders. Take a moment to breathe. Feel the skin of the back body expand as you breathe in. And soften as you breathe out. Relax your jaw. And maybe take a moment to move your forehead side to side. Noticing that we can hold a surprising amount of tension in the forehead. So really great if you have a bit of a headache. And then really press down into your feet, your shins, as you roll yourself up. Bring your knees together. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips pointing in. And I'll start by lifting your heart. Really reach the crown of the head all the way back. Press into your thumbs, press into your pinkies. You're welcome to stay here. Or press down to lift the hips, sending the hips forward. Breathe, really opening up to the chest, the shoulders. And then as you exhale, bring your chin down to your chest. Really soft landing. And now come onto your lower arms. So bring your elbows in line with your shoulders. Bring your hands in line with your elbows, so your hands will want to come in. Because I'm just guessing your shoulders are tight. You might be the 1% whose shoulders aren't tight. Okay, walk your knees back. Now think about downward facing dog. So tilt the pelvis up. And once again, melt the forehead down to the floor. And if you can't reach, just walk your knees back a bit more. Think about somebody standing behind you, taking a hold of your hips, and just pulling them up and back. Press into all 10 fingers. Rotate the shoulders out, as if you're dragging the mat from left to right. Big stretch for the upper back. In extended puppy pose. Breathe. And as you breathe in, lift the gaze. Strengthen the arms as you lift the elbows. And then just walk your knees back in. So returning to all fours. Now lift the right big toe up towards the ceiling. And once again, think puppy at a lamppost as we circle the right hip, preparing for pigeon pose. And now send your right leg all the way out. And bring your right knee towards your right wrist. Bring the right leg underneath yourself. So stay active through your right toes. And start to slide the left knee back. Flip onto the top of your left foot. Really root down through your left big toe. Let that be the anchor of the pose. And if this is impossible, you can slide a pillow or a blanket underneath your right hip. You can always lower the right hip down and bend the left leg. So just notice what feels good to you. Let the hips become heavy. If your hips are aligned, melt the left hip bone down towards the right heel, and then start to make your way into your version of pigeon pose. So maybe coming down onto the lower arms, bringing the forehead down onto the hands, or maybe bringing the forehead all the way down to the floor. Now return into that deep breath. Send your breath into that right hip. So in the hips we tend to store a lot of tension. Notice what comes up. And just be really kind to yourself. Relax your jaw. Relax your frown. One more breath. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl the left toes under, lift the left knee up, and just take a moment to send it out into your plank, lengthen, and then bring the knees down to the floor. Find your foundation. As we move into the other side, So lift the left big toe up to the ceiling. And let's take a moment to circle through the left knee, as if we're drawing circles, a little pencil attached to your left knee, preparing for our pigeon pose. Send your left leg out long. And then bring the left knee up towards your left wrist. Bring the left knee underneath you. So stay bright through your left toes. We don't want to have any pressure into that left knee. And then send your right knee back. Come onto the top of the right foot. Root down through the right big toe. And lengthen out through the spine. Hug the lower ribs in. And start to make your way into your pigeon pose. And just notice how one side tends to be different from the other side. So we're not symmetrical. And that's why yoga is so great, because we bring back some symmetry to the body. Notice if you need to adjust, or notice if it feels really good to go a little deeper into the pose. And then give yourself some time, some breath. Letting the time and the breath, gravity, work on the stretch. Just one more breath here. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your right toes under, lift the right knees up, send the left leg out. Just take a moment to reset. And then drop your knees down into the floor, cross the ankles, and walk your hands back as you come into your cross-legged seat. And then from your cross-legged seat, send your legs out long. So take a moment to flex your feet. Sit up really tall, lifting up through the chest, the heart. And then start to make your way into your seated forward fold. Now, if you want to round the spine, I would highly suggest bending the knees. So sometimes we tend to be really ambitious in the stretches, but instead just be really kind. Sliding the shoulders down the back, keeping the neck nice and long. Really finding space through the lower back. Two more breaths. And then roll yourself all the way up. As you bring the soles of your feet together, take a hold of your ankles. Root down through the sitting bones. And then once again, really visualize your spine. So starting at the tailbone, maybe visualize lighting up the spine with little Christmas lights. Spiral up through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders down. And just sitting up really nice and tall, lifting the heart. Can be really tough, but can help you feel like a different person. Now you're welcome to stay here or take it forward. Maybe interlacing your hands over your toes. Hug the elbows in. Keep the spine long as you breathe. And slowly roll yourself back up. Take a hold of the outsides of your legs as you fold your knees in and come to lie all the way down onto your back. So before we move, rolling down onto my microphone, before we move into Shavasana, take a moment to hug your knees into your chest and massage your back. Feel the support of the mat on your body. And then bring your feet as wide as the mat and just drop the knees in. So a really soft pose for the lower back. And then once again, bring the palms of the hands together and just rub them together, feeling the warmth in between the palms of your hands. If your hands are still a little chilly, a little faster. And then bring the hands over the eyes. Feel the warmth of your hands on your eyelids. And just run your fingers over your forehead. My hands smell like yoga mat. Okay, massage the forehead, massage the brow bone. And then take your fingertips to your temples. Just very gently circle over the temples. Bring your hands to your jaw. Another place where you can hold so much tension. And then this is a really soft touch. Just bring your fingers over your eyelids and just smooth out the eyelids. Your makeup is going to look funny after this. Okay, prepare for Shavasana. So a little massage goes such a long way. Send your legs out long if that feels great. Maybe put on something warmer, something more comfortable. Bring your arms down next to your body. Palms of the hands facing up. Walk the shoulders underneath your heart. And then start to unwind from any active breath. And just return to a very smooth, natural breath. Notice how you're being held. How you're being held. How you can surrender the weight of your body into the mat fully. And just surrender into the relaxation. Relax the skin of your face. Feel the weight of the head. Soften the muscles of the neck. Feel the weight of your shoulders. Feel the weight of your arms. The backs of your hands. Feel the muscles of the back softening. The weight of your pelvis. The weight of your upper legs. The weight of the lower legs. The weight of your heels. And soften your feet. So we've stirred up quite some energy. I find the best way to undo stress or build up tension is to move the body around, stirring the pot. I like the image of shaking a snow globe. But then the best way to let the water become clear again is to give yourself a moment of stillness. Before we start to move, take a moment of gratitude for yourself. Showing up is all that matters. Placing yourself in the right environment. So a moment of gratitude for yourself, your body, your discipline. Well done. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Move your fingers, move your toes. Lift the lower arms. If you haven't seen the movie Babe, go watch it. Okay. Take a full body stretch. And then roll onto your right side, keeping the weight of your heart. Slowly press yourself back up, returning to your cross-legged seat. Keep your eyes closed for a moment longer. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow your nose down to your fingertips. And return into the intention you set out at the beginning of practice. And maybe choose to take it off the mat into the real yoga. So the kinder we are to ourselves, the kinder we can be to other people too. Bring your thumbs up to that third eye point as we take a really deep bow down to the highest version of ourselves and choose to recognize that within each other. I hope you have a really great evening. Let me know your favorite feel-good movie. The next live stream is not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. And the yoga studio is opening this Saturday, so I hope to see you in 3D really soon. Thank you. Bye.